a couple of technical issues, a couple of gremlins in the system, but yeah, hopefully everyone joins again. So Jay,
Gremlins or Nurglings?
Probably both. Probably both. Nurglings because I'm painting corn. He's not happy about it. Well, we're up and running again, so that's good.
Excellent.
So, what have you guys been doing the last half hour?
I've painted the entire Votann army. You've missed it.
The entire Votann army. Oh, gutted.
I have successfully put the first layer of the the desert kind of colour on the cloth of my Cadians. That's what I've been doing for the last half an hour.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So I'm not going to touch any of these transitions because it all seemed to have gone wrong then when I changed scene.
Yeah.
So...
Does that mean everybody missed Jay's expertly crafted army painter brush review?
It means that Jay opened the box and he went off the stream about half an hour ago.
Yeah, I spent 15 minutes talking about the army painter brushes before I looked up at the channel and realised, hang on, my stream's not up there.
Well, Jay, I enjoyed it. It was,
Did you like it,
wholesome content. Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it.
It was like a private video for Dave.
Excellent.
Anonymous Rex, yes, we're back, and I've got the boys back with me as well. Hopefully, I've ironed out the kinks in the system, and everything's all good going forward. So,
I feel like we need to start singing "Stay Another Day" by E17. I think
Stay Another Day.
On topic for
very festive, very festive. So I've been working on Skarbrand. I've not done much work on Skarbrand. I've been chatting with the guys. Anonymous Rex, yes, Pandora's box. Okay, yeah, it's by not clicking any buttons, there's less chance of me breaking things.
Yeah.
Is the plan. So hopefully everyone is here, and hopefully you guys at home have enjoyed this too, even if it's been a little chaotic. We didn't kind of too far in advance schedule this one because we thought that a few things might go awry on this first stream back. Basically, Streamlabs has got some new functionality since the last time we used it. Collaborator Cam, which in theory lets these guys join seamlessly without needing any third-party programs. But it looks like there's a few technical problems. But we'll see. If this stream works now, it might have just been just the stream being weird on its first go back out again. We are doing multi-stream as well, so that always tends to make things a little bit more complicated as well. We've got all sorts of people joining us, guys. So Daz Moore's in the chat saying it works.
Yeah, I did notice Daz Moore.
We had Jem Jackson in the chat earlier. Hopefully he's joined us on the restart. We may have lost some people when I've had to restart the stream, but hopefully everyone's back and enjoys it. So we were talking with the chat just about Battle Force boxes and how they're cool for starting a new project for the year. Someone in the chat, I forget who because it's lost me chat history, was saying, what do we think of the boxes this year having more focus on like a big centerpiece model?
Like Mortarion and Magnus.
Like Mortarion and Magnus, yeah. Which may be less value for an existing player, but obviously it's a big ticket item for new players. What are your guys' thoughts on that this year?
It means they're not shifting enough Mortarians.
Yeah.
No, but a more serious answer. I think it's great actually having a nice big model. That's what's going to draw people to collect the army. Yeah, I suppose if you're new to the army, you're not going to have an actual army that you could legally use, but you've got the main draw. Or one of the main draws of the army.
If you're new to the army, you'd absolutely have a legal army with those boxes. It's more so if you've already got the army, you might already have a Mortarion or Magnus, and you don't need a second one. And obviously that's a big chunk of the contents of the box. You get big armies in there. So like we're talking about the Sylvaneth one being a very good value box.
I really like the Imperial Fist one.
Do you?
Yeah, the Gravis armor.
One I really wanted, but it sold out like instantly, was the Imperial Knight one because I want to complete my knights.
You know what, Matt?
What?
I was tempted by that as well, but the funds didn't allow it. But I mean, it sold out super quickly anyway. So.
Well, did you build the big knight that GW sent us?
I'm ashamed to say, Matt, it's still in my pile of shame. It is going to be built and painted to run alongside my Cadians.
Oh, nice.
But I want to get at least a 50 power level painted first, and then I might crack that open and have him stomping along. You guys are going to have all your big demon Primarchs and whatnot, but I'll have a big night.
I love that you including Jay in the demon Primarchs here.
There'll certainly be no demon Primarchs anywhere in my collection anytime soon. Although we say that, and I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here. So I think, was it last week or perhaps the week before? I've had flu recently, so I've lost track of the days a little bit. But they sort of revealed a few details of the final Siege of Terror book. And they showed the cover, didn't they, with Horus and Sanguinius. I was not expecting to see Sanguinius on the front cover of the final book. In my mind, and this was just me sort of guessing at what the sequence of events we may see for the last two books will be. So I've read Echoes of Eternity. I'm not going to spoil that book on the stream here. But I assumed the second to last book would potentially end with the finale of Horus fighting Sanguinius on the bridge. And then the last book then would be Horus fighting the Emperor. And that might be how it rolls. But having seen Sanguinius on the cover of the last book, I'm like, Sanguinius must survive for at least one more book then. Yeah. And then I started worrying. I wonder what if Horus is the good guy after all and Sanguinius is the baddie.
See, I've got a feeling that it'd be cool for part 1 to be Sanguinius, part 2 to be Horus. But let's face it, 300 odd pages is a lot just for Horus fighting the Emperor. So I think we'll see the majority of the vengeful spirit kind of gambit in the second book.
I have heard rumours that the first of the two books is actually set at the same time as Echoes of Eternity. I don't know how true that is, but that would obviously then tie in with the last book being the Vengeful Spirit, all of the things that happen on the Vengeful Spirit. You guys haven't... Yeah, it is exciting. So, as long as Sanguinius stays true, there'll be no traitor demon Primarchs in my painting schedule anytime soon. However, if Sanguinius does fall to chaos, I think I probably would fall with him, to be fair.
You'd fall with him. You've toyed with chaos in the past, Jay. Let's not pretend that you're, this innocent beacon of light for the Imperium.
Yes, but I came through the other side. I was tested, and I found my faith in the Emperor. So I actually think, I've resisted the forces of chaos quite well.
That's commendable.
And I will argue that against anyone who says otherwise.
That is very commendable. So we've got some people in the chat. Anonymous Rex says they think the AOS armies are stronger overall than the 40k ones in the battle boxes. The Squig one sold out almost instantly. Yeah, I was also tempted by the Squig one. I do like a Squig, and I really want to paint one. So that was a pretty cool army box. Jakarta, I hope I'm saying that right, says evening. First time seeing a stream. Is this new? I mean, the stream. I'm a keen podcast and website fan. Why, thank you, Jakarta. Yeah, so we did do a stream last year, and I've been in the longest house move ever. It's taken like a year, but I'm finally in. And obviously, as part of that, we wanted to get the stream up and running again. So we're looking to do these weekly, hopefully. We'll also be streaming some live games on here as well, which will be fun. So this is kind of super casual, just chatting about the hobby while painting models is the idea of this. So that's the plan, really. So hope you enjoy it. If you do like it or you've got any feedback for us, let us know. This is the first stream back after a while, so there's a few gremlins and things that we'll tidy up for next time. I want to give the overlays a bit of a refresh, but this is essentially what I had still saved down from last time.
I need to put a new X on my thing as well for where I put my model.
You do need a new X where you put your model, yeah. And we're trying some of the new functionality in Streamlabs as well for having the guys join us on the stream too. So it seems to be more stable now. It was being a bit buggy earlier and the guys were dropping out, so hopefully going well. We'll be here with you every week. Jack Shaw says, good to hear. Hopefully we'll see you here. If you don't already, why not give us a follow and then get notified for when we go live. We also dual stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time as well. So if you prefer one format than the other, you can find us on the other one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Daz Moore says, are you guys at Warhammer World anytime soon? We are. We're at Warhammer World. When are we at Warhammer World? The 28th of December. We're at Warhammer World.
Can't wait.
We're playing some Horus Heresy. I don't know if we know what forces will be attending there yet, do we? I guess you're bringing your Imperial Fists, are you, Jay?
I am. I was wondering whether to bring the Custodes or the Imperial Fist. I'm bringing the Imperial Fists.
The Imperial
Rogel
Fists.
Dawn, Sigismund, and the Imperial Fists.
Nice.
This is a beauty having 2 Horus Heresy armies to choose from. It's really good. Soon I'll have 3 because the Blood Angels will be getting an army into the new year.
So you very nearly had a couple of other Horus Heresy armies, didn't you, Jay? There was a moment of madness.
There was. Well, this is it. So there's a Horus Heresy event one day here. This sort of new style of events that Warhammer World are putting on. These one-day events in a week. And Matt was lucky enough to grab me a ticket for that event. I think it's February 2nd or February 4th or something like that. Unfortunately, the ticket Matt grabbed me was a traitor ticket.
I'm going to try and corrupt him, haven't I, guys?
Yeah, well, so I've got to put together a traitor Horus Heresy army by February, which is a bit of an ask. Now, luckily, there's different sizes of games you can play, so I could put together a 1,000-point traitor force and use that for the day, which I'm perfectly happy with. It'd be interesting to see how Horus plays at a small points level, to be fair, because we've only ever played the big 3,000-point games, which I say big. They last 4 turns and you're done in a couple of hours. It's not an unwieldy game at all at that points level for Horus Heresy.
No. 3,000 points, I guess, is the equivalent of a 2,000-point game of AOS or 40k, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Now, the problem is I've got a Legio Custodes army, which are definitely not traitors. And I have a Imperial Fist army, which I would say also is pretty much not traitor. It's got Sigismund in there, the Templar Brethren, Dawn, and then I've got 2 units of the Phalanx Warders, which are like they're the units that guard the Phalanx space station. I mean, I could put together a traitor force for the Imperial Fist, and I may have to use traitor Imperial Fist, which that really riles me. I'm not going to be happy about this. So what I was looking at was, okay, well, 1,000 points. Let's put together 1,000 points of traitors, Iron Warriors, Ultramarines, White Scars. And then I've gone all the way back around and I thought, no, what I'll do is I'll try and get 1,000 points of Blood Angels painted and just use them as traitor Blood Angels for that day. And then I can just expand them then into my proper Loyalist army. The problem is time's short. I want to get these Votann guys done as well for January. And I don't even know whether I'm going to have time to paint them.
You're going to have to bite the bullet and take some traitor Imperial Fists, aren't you?
Well, I might have to, which is going to be interesting because I'm going to have to paint up something else for them because I haven't actually got a HQ. I've got my Castellan, I suppose I could use. But I might have to paint like a Praetor up or something. Which isn't too bad because I do quite like painting Imperial Fists. So.
Just give a quick shout out to Jakarta, who's subscribed to Twitch. Amazing, thank you very much. That is much appreciated and helps to support the site.
Yeah, that's great, thank you.
I'm sure we shouted out to Daz Moore when he subscribed using his Prime subscription as well. A couple of guys in the chat saying weirdly YouTube notices aren't working despite notifications being enabled. So, with the technical issues today and the fact that I've had to kind of like abort the stream and restart it, that may have caused some weird things. YouTube notifications do some strange stuff sometimes. So, if it doesn't do it in the future, let us know. What we always try and do is put a tweet out as well when we go live, but I'll check after this stream see if there's anything on my settings side that may be playing up with that. But in theory, you should be getting those notifications. So I'll check that out, and then hopefully next time we go live, it'll be all right. I think it's because I was live. I had to pull the plug, get the guys wired back into the stream, and started again. Emma TB is a new name. How you doing? Thanks for joining and watching us paint and talk nonsense. We've got an exciting day tomorrow as well, haven't we, guys?
We have. We're doing some recording, aren't we?
We are. So, obviously, anyone who listens to the podcast will know that we recently moved away from the weekly format to a monthly show. I couldn't remember what we talked about, Dave. You see, hashtag spoilers. It may be more regular than monthly going forward, based on feedback from you guys. But what we wanted to do was a special for Christmas Eve, because it is very nearly Christmas, and we need a Christmas party in the channel, really. So what we're going to do is have it's going to be filmed and it's going to be recorded, so it'll be on YouTube and it'll be on your usual streaming sites for the podcast. And basically what we're going to do is just have a bit of a Christmas party and chat Warhammer. So there'll be crackers, there'll be snacks, there'll be presents. We've asked you guys for some questions as well. So if you don't already, head over to Twitter /Sprues Brews or Facebook /Sprues Brews, and you can ask us some questions that we'll try and answer. I don't know if you guys have seen, but we've had some really good ones come in already.
Yeah, I've watched them today. Yeah.
So that'll be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what we've got on the way. Now I am just looking at some reference pictures of Skarbrand. What do we think? Has he got bone claws on his wings? I think he has. He's also got a really weird...
He doesn't have wings, does he, Skarbrand?
He's got tattered fragments. You just in the camera frame now, you should see his tattered fragments of wings. I think Khorne destroyed them when he wasn't best pleased with him, and that left him really, really angry.
Good motivation for Khorne.
It is. You wouldn't want to see him when he's angry. I've seen him when he's angry. I don't know if he's in the chat actually. Charles. I played his Skarbrand at an event a while ago, and it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. So this is a tester Bloodthirster for my Bloodthirster batch painting that'll be happening over Christmas too. So obviously we've got the Horus Heresy event, which I'm thinking, I don't know, I've got a tank-based World Eaters army on the way. Which sounds unusual for World Eaters, but they actually have a right of war that lets them take Predators and fast attack slots.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So I'm thinking of taking them. If not, the Sons of Horus or the Emperor's Children will be going. Again, I was hoping that the Demons would have their rules by now, but it seems that I don't think I'll have the rules for them by
February.
By February, yeah. I mean, they might do. You never know. It's quarterly releases for Heresy, so we might get lucky. By lucky, I mean unlucky for you, Jay, when you're fighting. I think you'll be on my side. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's a bit of a test before I batch paint my other Bloodthirsters. Because for a Horus Heresy army, I'm going to need a fair few Bloodthirsters. And obviously I've got Kabandra as well. So basically just testing some techniques on this guy. I'm using a combination of paints. So I based him using Army Painter air paints to get the nice red. They do like a triad system, so you spray down the base colour. There's like a mid-tone that you go in with, and then kind of do a zenithal highlight with the kind of the lightest colour, and that's turned out really nicely for the skin. And then for the other colours, I am using Tooth and Coats paints from Mr. Duncan Rhodes, who we've got a review of them coming up soon, and we were lucky enough to chat to the guys on a recent podcast episode. So that's out now, isn't it, Dave?
It is. It's out now. You can grab it on all your different podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, basically. Even Amazon.
Even Amazon. It was a fun show, that. It was cool talking to Duncan and Peter. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah, they're really nice guys, and I've actually got some teeth and paints to use, but I've not got around to cracking them out yet. I've got a couple of little projects that I want to do that I'll be testing them out on, I think.
Nice. What's the project? I'm nosy now.
I've got a kill team in mind. I might try with Tooth and Coats.
Kill team.
And possibly an Underworlds as well. So we'll see. Keep an eye on the social channels.
Oh, that's very mysterious, Dave.
Absolutely.
See, Dave's not telling us because we know that next week he'll change his idea.
Yeah, probably. To be honest, at the moment, I just want to pick Cadians. Do you ever have that where that's all you want to do?
I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, is it? When you find an army that you enjoy, it's always good to kind of go fully into them, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Are you tempted to get any more Cadian bits? And obviously, we've got the main release of the Cadians next January, I assume.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully early in the new year. Well, I've still got quite a bit of the Cadia stands box to complete. So, and I've got quite a few infantry squads and Lehman Russes that are waiting to be painted. So, I will be picking up the new stuff and gradually getting them painted. And of course, like we mentioned earlier on, I have got that knight as well, which needs a lick of paint. So, I think the Cadians I'll be working on for some time. I think it's nice with the Imperial Guard to have a variety of units to call upon. So,
would you not go for a Bane Blade or a Shadow Sword or something as your Lord of War for them? Because they're part of the army as well. So,
I've got a Shadow Sword that will be painted, but like I say, variety is nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I'll just pick up a third one and take a Lord of War detachment with my guard.
Maybe. So Jim Jackson says, bloodthirster and batch painting. 2 words that get a bit worrying when you put them together. Absolutely. Jackator says, I want Cabanda so bad. What a beautiful model. It really, really is. I picked it up at the Horus Heresy Open Day. So mostly because, well, A, it's a beautiful model, and B, kind of ulterior motive. I wanted to do an unboxing for it way before it came out. So it is built, it is weight in paint. But I want to do a decent job on it, you see. I don't want to rush it or anything. So he's been sat in my cabinet for a while now.
Well, since the summer, wasn't it?
Since the summer, yeah. But I think once I've painted Skarbrand, batch paint those bloodthirsters, and then next on the list will be Cabanda himself. And then that should be, combined with my existing demon models, the good start for a heresy demon army. I also picked up Samus, Demon Prince of the Runestorm, and the Demon Brutes as well. So yeah, I've got a focus will be demony, I think, for the next little while.
I'm not the only one, right? Every time you two mention Samus, I think of the Nintendo character.
No, yeah, you're not the only one.
Yeah, good.
Samus is the voice beside you.
I thought that was my wife.
So yeah, so Dave, you're saying that you kind of got the Cadian hype at the minute. Is that your for the foreseeable future then what you're working on?
Yeah, it is. Now I will have to sidetrack slightly because I need to stop forgetting that me and you are attending a doubles in January, Matt.
We are.
Which is an Age of Sigmar. And I have somewhere in this room 1,000 points of Soulblight Gravelords to prepare. Now, luckily, a lot of them are already painted, but I do have a certain Zombie Dragon to paint and some Blood Knights.
Yeah, did you? So we had a game, didn't we? Last week now, I think. I can't remember. Yes, last week. Because you'd gone through a few ideas for your AOS army for this tournament, hadn't you?
I had, yeah. I
think it's safe to say that you've been torn, and after playing with them, how... oh, cool. Sorry, Jakarta says, I'm at the doubles in January and the Wednesday one day the week before as well.
Oh,
that's really cool. So, well, we'll see you there. But if you do see us, give us a shout, because that'd be really cool. Hopefully we play against you as well. What army are you bringing, Jakarta? And also let me know how you say your name as well, because I'm sure I've been butchering that all stream. Yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. Throne of Skulls, I think. I was about to say it's my favourite event, but I think it's actually my second favourite type of event now. After us playing the ridiculously awesome Crusade and Path to Glory events.
Yeah.
So if anybody gets a chance to get tickets for them. Anonymous Rex has subscribed via Prime. Thank you very much, Anonymous Rex. The subscriptions are flowing in tonight. So Fabius Fulgrim.
Cheers, Anonymous Rex.
Yeah, thank you very much. Fabius Fulgrim, nice to see you live again. Can't hang around for long. Are you doing Sunday nights again? Yes. So this is like a random, unscheduled test stream because we wanted to make sure all the technology worked, which it didn't. But then we restarted the stream, and it does now. So yeah, it's all good. So yeah, this is kind of a. I think if we're ever free, so basically on Mondays we tend to record the podcast, and with us going away from weekly, it means that we'll be able to do more stuff like this on the nights in between the shows as well. I am absolutely up for doing the Sunday streams as well. Jay, that tended to work for you as well, didn't it?
Yeah, the Sunday evening was good. Once the boys were in bed, it's a good bit of hobby time actually.
So very much, if you let us know when you like to enjoy content, we'll try and coordinate it to its best. Because I know we've got a lot of people watching from all over the world, so scheduling was always quite tricky, wasn't it? To find a time that is good for everybody.
Yeah.
But we'll do our best. And Sundays were a pretty good time, I think, for a lot of people. Maxim M says, will you be airbrushing the skins of the batch of Bloodthirsters? Yes, I will. So, I don't know if you can see very well with the light on in here, but this was done using, if I can find them, War Paints Air from Army Painter. So, big old box. I'll show it up to the main camera here. That's what they look like. Army Painter very kindly sent us a set over to review. So, as part of the review, I was painting up this. So, it is in Carmine Red, Pure Red, and then Archangel Red. Definitely not the kind of Blood Angel colours. So that triad, basically you spray this all over, you spray this kind of like from an angle, and then this one from like the upmost bit just to catch the kind of like the bits that would be highlighted the most kind of in the real world. And I think it came out really nicely. And then just to kind of blend it together, I gave it a bit of a contrast glaze over that. So I will be airbrushing the other Bloodthirsters using that, which will make the task of batch painting them a little bit easier because, you know, obviously I've been chatting a lot tonight, so the bone's taking a little bit longer on here, but in theory I should be able to knock out an army pretty quickly doing that. Dasmore Wargaming says, if any of you guys fancy attending our AOS event in March, there's a few tickets left. Where is that, Daz? March, I could possibly make that. 2,000 points, is it? I could probably knock together an army for that, Daz. That'd be cool. I'll message you later. Jakarta says, anything is fine. It's not a real name. Even real names count. You know, if you'd rather your real name pronounced a different way. I'm thinking of Disciples of Tzeentch and my pal Lumineth, but I'm unsure. So, I am possibly 99% sure, 99.9% sure, taking Disciples of Tzeentch myself. We had a really, really fun game the other day, and
we did.
They are very, very good. They're very good at the objective game. They're very good at the objective game, and they're annoying. And annoying Dave is one of my favourite hobbies.
He kept turning me skeletons into chaos spawns, which doesn't make any sense. A lot. So yeah, it was very irritating. It was a really close game in the end, though.
It was, yeah. What I loved is that obviously these guys were getting turned into chaos spawns, and then your dead skeletons were coming back to fuel more spawns.
Spawn, yeah.
And then that endless spell that you really like as well.
Oh god, that was annoying. What was it called?
The rune one, I forget what it's called. But basically it goes down, it hits everything in a bubble, and the first model to be killed by it gets turned into a chaos spawn. Because, you know, there's not enough chaos spawns going down then. What coven did I play? I was the Guild of Summoners, because it's all about summoning as many Lords of Change as I could. And I'd have probably had at least another one if Dave hadn't completely shut down my magical abilities, which was very rude of him.
Oh man, my dispelling was...
You were on fire, Dave. You were absolutely on fire. Yeah, it was good. Maximo says that's great, thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. I'll probably be spraying them up on this stream as well. So I'll keep tuned and we'll do that. Dasmore says Daventry at Battlefield Hobbies, 2K match play, but with Throne of Skull style scoring. That sounds really fun. Yeah, I'll try and work out the logistics. Is it on a weekend? If it's on a weekend, we'll definitely be able to do it. I don't know if either of you guys are up for that too. A road
I'll
trip
definitely
to play some Warhammer.
Yeah, I'll check the old diary.
Big bonus, the lovely Ben Bailey is streaming Top Table again. Excellent. We've not spoken to Ben for a long time as well, so that'll be cool. Jakator, oh, you filthy bag. It was a little bit filthy. If Dave hadn't have managed to stop so many spells, he'd have been knee-deep in Lords of Change. Was it at 2k? It was only 1,000 points, and you can still summon Lords of Change really quickly at 1,000 points, which is terrifying, isn't it, Dave?
Absolutely terrifying.
I think the fear of Lords of Change helped your dice roll hot.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never dispelled so many spells in my life.
Yeah, honestly, it was crazy. Next time I'm summoning like 3 of them. Cheers, Daz. Thanks for that. So yeah, it's exciting. So obviously that's both of your projects then, really, for the first part of the year, isn't it?
So I mean, this is a bit of a spoiler for when we do the hobby resolution podcast in the new year. But yeah, they're 2 of the 3 armies that I'm going to be concentrating on.
2 of the 3. That's mysterious.
Yeah, so there is a third army which I'm hoping to start work on soon. And that is my Dark Angels. Sort of. It's my Dark Angels for Horus Heresy. So I should really be building them, getting them ready for when we go in a couple of weeks' time. But I don't know if it's because I just haven't had a game yet, but I haven't quite got the motivation to get them done. But I am going to have to get them built, otherwise I'm not going to be taking 3,000 points of them to Warhammer World.
You could, of course, take 1,000 points of them, or 1,500 points, and take the rest in Astra Militarum or something.
Well, that actually, after we discussed that earlier on before we started this stream, that potentially could be the way I go. But we'll see. It would be nice to take a pure force, but we'll see how I get on.
I'd offer to help build him, Dave, but I've got a massive list of stuff that needs painting myself.
No, that's fine.
Speaking of Christmas, Warcom today revealed the Aberrant Ghoul King with Crown of Delusion. That's a bit nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really nice model.
It's are you tempted to pick up one of these?
Yeah, especially with me feeling deaf at the moment with the Soul Blight.
Yeah, well, that's a cool thing, isn't it?
Army, but
being able to ally them in, maybe.
Yeah, they are allies actually for Soul Blight.
How about you, Jay? Are you tempted by these?
I'm not tempted by them, no, but I do like the model. It's a very nice model. I love the sort of the sword he's got on the crown. Very, very cool.
I kind of hope this is a sign to what they'll look like. You know, Flesh Eater Courts were very much an army of old old Warhammer Fantasy models, really, weren't they? They got ported to AOS, so this has got kind of a new look, really, leaning into the whole they're undead but they think they're like knights kind of vibe. Undead Bretonians, basically.
Which we've always said, like in the book, it is amazing, but it never really looked like that on the models.
No,
so it'd be cool if they do lean into that more.
Sorry, Dave. Daz just says, gotta go. Food, calls, defo catch your future streams. Thank you very much, Daz. Thanks again for subscribing as well. It is much appreciated. Jackson says the new king is very, very green. He is very, very green. He's probably a little bit mouldy. You probably don't want to go near him, but it's a cool model. It's a cool model, so you can't deny that.
No, he's very cool. I love that throne he's sitting on, and the sword's really cool. Everything about the model is really, really nice.
You know what I'd like to see? Like a unit of undead questing knights. I think that'd be fun.
That'd be epic.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. It's so for me, like I say, Thousand Suns I want to get done. My Demons I want to get finished. As you look further into the year, obviously there's rumours, isn't there, of Beasts of Chaos. I've always wanted to do a Beasts of Chaos army. So Flesh Eaters, if they had something cool like that coming out, that'd be amazing too. I think it's going to be a good year. Another thing I'm working on is my World Eaters. I can't remember if I mentioned during this transmission or before we had to come off for a second, but it's a vehicle-based World Eaters army. So lots of predators, lots of tanks, lots of charging things in the face. And obviously, I would like to get Angron for that at some point as well. I'm hoping. Obviously, we've got. Jay was talking about Echoes of Eternity. We've got nearly the entire story out, and I wonder if that's when they'll start releasing narrative supplements for Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
Because obviously we'll have like all the books out, so the story's not getting spoilt then, really, which is the danger they'd have by doing narrative supplements before then.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I think that'd be very, very cool. Because I think that's what we'll see for Heresy rather than like quote marks codexes. Bar the demons and the militia, we've got like all the army lists now, haven't we? In under 6 months, really.
Yeah.
Obviously, the demons are a little bit delayed, and that's a shame. But I'm sure they won't be too far off. You never know. We might see them early next year, and then that's all the kind of like core army lists out for the game.
Yeah.
Which would be really, really fun. What do you guys want to see next for Heresy, model-wise, plastic model-wise?
Plastic Assault Marines.
Yeah, I think that's a given, isn't it? Lots of people be very, very happy. There's some armies, like Blood Angels, for example, that really kind of like lean into that style as well, don't they?
Yep, definitely with their Right Award Day Revelation and things like this. And really, you've got enough pieces now to build your tactical squads, your support squads, heavy support squads. You've got the Tartarus Terminators, the Cataphractic Terminators. You've even got Contemptor Dreadnoughts and Leviathan Dreadnoughts in plastic now. There's a range of tanks out, the Spartans, the Predators, the Rhinos. You've got the Skarbrand tanks as well, which there are some more variants to come. But the bulk of that's there in plastic. And then you look at the units that we haven't got in plastic. And all right, you've got your Legion specific units, which I don't think we'll ever see. Well, I never say never, but
immediate focus is probably going to be on getting some of those resin kits into plastic, isn't it? I think one of the big things that we've got missing is maybe some of the flyers that are, let's say, a little bit difficult to build in resin at the minute.
Yeah, and like they did such a good job with the Spartan that they could easily get a Storm Raven or not Storm Raven, what they fire? It's Storm Eagle and Fire Raptor.
Yeah, because they are. I think anyone who's built one will agree. They're not necessarily the easiest models to build, and a plastic version, it'd be so much nicer, wouldn't it? So yeah.
But yeah, from a rules point of view, yeah, I mean they've done a really good job of adding sort of expanded units via PDF, which is great. But I would like to see them also release lots of missions, and different ways to play, because you've got the missions in the rulebook, which are great, and I am enjoying them. But it'd be great to, this is this particular battle, these are the forces you'll need type thing.
Yeah. Like something like remember the Lord of the Rings books that had, well, in fact the current Lord of the Rings like journey books that you can get now, where it has the historic forces that fought in that battle.
Yeah.
And you can always adapt it for your own armies, but that's quite a cool thing to do together as a club, getting the quote marks actual armies on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Because we'd definitely give that a go, wouldn't we?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's what I like about Heresy. It's the story element of it as well. Being a big fan of the Black Library novels, I really like putting those characters and forces down on the tabletop.
Yeah, and where Heresy's got some potential for silly stuff, your narrative supplements like that stop that, because you're basically playing with pre-built lists, aren't you?
Yeah.
And there'll be, special rules to account for any funky stuff that happens during the battle. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So 40k and AOS, Jay. Obviously 40k you're working on your Leagues of Votann right now. Is there anything that, is on the horizon that's piqued your interest, or are you kind of focused on Heresy for the time being?
Well, so I am actually quite happy where I'm at Heresy because I've got 2 armies built and I've got the Blood Angels sort of in the making. And I can afford to take my time really on the Blood Angels because I wanted to get the Imperial Fist ready for release. I wanted to get the Custodians ready for the last event we went to. So there was a bit of a deadline that. With the Blood Angels, there's not such a big deadline. And I want to try a different painting technique with the Blood Angels as well. So I did me sort of Battle Worn Imperial Fists. I did me oils and grime on the Custodians. And I want to try something a little bit different with the Blood Angels. And to that effect, I've ordered some really nice resin bases from, I think it's called Unreal Wargaming. And they did a really cool Black Friday sale where they sold enough bases to basically model all of your Age of Darkness box. So enough of the 40mm and 32mm bases and things. They have a really sort of Imperial Palace type feel to them, and that's what I'm going to put the Blood Angels on. So I think that might be a bit of more of a long-winded project into next year, but like I say, I'm not in a rush because I've got 2 Horus Heresy forces I can use anyway. Yeah. I'm really enjoying the Votann. I want to get the Votann painted up. I wanted to get at least 1,000 points of Votann ready so I can start taking them to, because I do a lot of the 1,000 one-dayer events. I've had great fun this year with my Alatok Eldar, which is only 1,000 points. So if I can get the Votann to 1,000 points, it means I can start getting some really cool games in with them. In terms of on the Age of Sigmar side, I'm not really feeling Age of Sigmar too much at the moment. There's not really been many releases that have piqued my interest. So we'll see what happens next year. But on the 40k side, I'm really excited. This Arcs of Omen has got me really excited. I also want to do a Blood Angels 40k army as well next year. Some Primaris Blood Angels. And we'll see whether there's anything coming in the Arcs of Omen that might, sort of inspire me further on that side of things.
It'd be cool. An Arcs of Omen Blood Angel Terminator army or something for boarding actions. Obviously, we don't know what the rules are yet, do we? But it'd be cool to see what they do with that. I kind of hope. You remember the Broken Realm series? Every book they had 4 pre-built army boxes, didn't they? We had a little bundle of stuff for a discount. I do wonder if we'll see some of them for Arcs of Omen. Maybe, I don't know, a Chaos Terminator Lord and 2 boxes of Terminators for the price of just over a box of Terminators.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that we saw for Broken Realms, so hopefully we see the same for Arcs of Omen, because that'd be really cool.
I'm unfortunately, gentlemen, I'm gonna have to drop out of the stream as I'm required downstairs. So enjoy the rest of the stream, and I'll definitely be joining us on some future full scheduled streams, Matt.
Amazing. Well, thanks for joining us, Dave. I think we've only got about 15 minutes left of the stream, so me and Jay will hold the fort,
Excellent.
The Custodians against all the various demons that were spilling out of the
last wall.
Yeah. But I don't think that story ended too well for the bad guys, did it?
Well, Cadia stands with you, even if I'm not on the stream to enjoy that. But
amazing.
But yeah, it's been fun, guys, and I look forward to our next stream, and of course, I look forward to our recording session tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we'll see you tomorrow, Dave, and
see you, Dave.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
see you later. Bye, everybody.
See you later. So, what have we got going down in the chat? Jim Jackson says, "I'd love to see a plastic breacher squad. Could be updated for the Mark 6 armor, like the weapon boxes." Yeah, I do wonder if we'll see Mark 6 like assault weapons, or they put out a different Mark kit that fits those assault weapons better.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well, because we've got the really nice support weapons and heavy weapons, but there isn't really close combat, like with your boarding shields, your chainswords, power swords, thunder hammers in particular. So yeah, that does seem like a natural sort of expansion route that they can go now.
Release a box and then release a sprue of weapons.
Yeah.
It's essentially what they do with Necromunda, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And those heavy and special weapons are great value as well. Because if you've got some friends who play Heresy, you can really buy one of them and split the weapons between you, can't you?
Yeah.
So yeah. Jackator, yes, the boarding actions look like a really nice way to play. I think I'll branch into some sororitas for it. Nice, yeah. A Sisters of Battle boarding army would be cool. I think, in fact, you know what? We've been talking about like sweet spot 40k, 1,000 points is fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing the boarding action stuff because it looks like it is for like small scale games, doesn't it?
Yeah. I really enjoy playing small Warhammer games, 40k games in particular. 1,000 points I just find is really nice. I find you don't get loads of the sort of overpowered stuff because you've got enough points to sort of spam it.
Yeah.
I tend to find the games are enjoyable. We went to a 1 day 1,000 point game recently at the Purple Sparkly Unicorns, and it was awesome. I mean, I was at the bottom table, but I enjoyed all my games.
Bottom table is the best table.
Yeah, I was on the bottom table at the end of the, day.
If anyone's new to the channel or the stream, we're not kind of super competitive players. We're not pro tournament players. We won't be able to tell you what units to take to win some games. What we will be able to do though is have fun and enjoy the narrative and the story and roll some dice. And ultimately, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you can lose 5 games of Warhammer and have a terrible list, but still have a really fun time and enjoy it. And I'd rather my opponent enjoys the game and me lose than me take a list that isn't fun to play against and me win, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to the Crusade event in January.
Yeah, you've been to the first one, haven't you, Jay?
I have, yeah. I went to the Gene Stealer Cult one.
Which was amazing fun. I don't know if anyone out in the chat went to that as well. I think Jem Jackson was around. I think Jem may have gone to it. It might have been the AOS one. I forget now. But they are really, really good fun. Jakarta always wanted an army, so just committing to 500 points would be nice. Yeah, really good excuse to do one. I like to think, what would it look like for a boarding action? Would they throw in a load of Repentia and Archoflagellants to cause mayhem, backed up by some Sancrisats shielded up to tidy up? Or a Nurgle one, which just throws a load of infected bodies into the enemy ship? There's some really cool narrative things you can do with that, isn't there?
Yeah, the Gelapox would be cool.
The Gelapox would be cool, yeah. I mean, the thing that I'm most interested in is my boy Vashtor.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously we've seen little teasers of what he is on Warhammer Community, and the model looks absolutely gorgeous. So hopefully he's not too far away, because I absolutely need to paint one because he looks cool, and it's all about the ruler cool. I don't care about the rules if it looks cool. In fact, that's a good topic, isn't it? Would you take a model that looks cool in an army list, even if it had rubbish rules? I think we all would, wouldn't we, on the channel?
Oh yeah, I tend to build most of my armies around, and that's why they don't change very often. So as the meta changes and people are changing armies, my armies tend to stay quite static.
And what you'll find is that the fates will align, and your model has been previously rubbish but looks awesome, that you've painted up because it's cool, suddenly becomes really strong, and you've got like a good army.
That's me, Alarith Stoneguard and all me mountain spirits.
Yeah, you're ahead of the curve there.
I was ahead of the curve.
What about you guys in the chat? Would you play with a model that is rubbish rules wise but looks amazing just for the joy of painting the model? Or are you more of a tournament type that kind of takes the things that are effective regardless of what they look like? Because different types of players, and there's no wrong answer. Different types of players will will do different things there, won't they? Like all the tournament types tend to chase the meta, I guess the word is, isn't it?
I guess you have to if you want to be competing at top tables and stuff. If that's
Exactly,
your objective.
yeah, exactly, and that's what some people find fun as well. So, obviously for us, it's unlikely we're going to win any events. So we'd rather have stuff that looks the part.
I have just actually ordered a new unit for my Votann.
You've ordered a new unit for your Votann?
Yeah, so I was putting together my 50 power level force that I'll be taking in January, and I had 5 power level left, and I was torn between the Cadians Berserks, which I really love those models with the big hammers, big mauls, or the Brockier Thunderkin, which are the sort of exosuit wearing
the
heavyweight. Pardon me. And I've ordered some of the Thunderkin.
Nice.
I want one of them to be an Ironkin, and these guys they just look like, in the big exosuits, alien inspired sort of exosuits. I just think they sort of look in a smaller 1,000 point army. I just think they look a bit more sort of Votann-y than the Cadian Berserks.
Yeah.
So I can just imagine some of these marching into battle with my small sort of fledgling force. So I'm really looking forward to them turning up and building them, because I've not actually built any of those yet.
So we're doing this as part of. So I don't know if you guys know. I think he's shared it on the channel. So I'm just going to spoil it now anyway. We've got a bit of a crusade event coming up in the new year, haven't we?
Yeah.
Dave has been. I don't know any details. Dave's been building it behind the scenes, and it sounds really cool. But as part of that, we're basically going to start new armies next year for it. So Dave's doing his Cadians. I'm doing my demons. I say it's a new army, but painting up some new bits for it. And you're doing your Leagues of Votann. And I think what we should do is have our games within the event as part of that. So we'll basically start our crusade for the event and carry it on into our event.
Yeah.
Because then we've got the story and we've got the building narrative, and I'm sure Dave will have all sorts of twists and turns planned for us.
Yeah, it was really good as well, because in the last Crusade event, I remember I sort of went into, I think you did as well, the same. I rolled for all my injuries and stuff and kept them. I didn't. You can use requisition to heal them, and I didn't do that. I wanted to tell a story with all my guys. I'm going to do the same with this one with the Votann, and it'd be great to come back with a few injuries into our games as well.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that'll be a bit of fun. I don't think if you go into Crusade wanting to win a tournament, I don't think it's necessarily the right mindset for it. That even though it's a tournament environment, it's about telling a story over 5 games, isn't it?
Yeah.
And fair play to you if you want to win the games and stuff. That's fine. But for me, whether they lived or died or bad stuff happened to them, it was about kind of how that happened, the story.
Yeah, I found it tends to balance itself anyway, because you'd have some units that were getting a few upgrades, and some of the upgrades, you can go a bit bananas, and I was rolling randomly for them as well, unless there was a particular something that happened in the battle, and I thought, actually, this upgrade will suit that event that happened in the battle.
Yeah, likewise for the injuries as well. There might be something that fits narratively.
Yeah, and I just found that just enabled you to. You've got a few advantages and a few disadvantages across your force, so the net effect was generally the same. Whereas if you just sort of use requisition to heal all of your battle scars and kept all of the traits and stuff you earn, your army soon become very powerful, which is fine. But that's not what I wanted to. That's not what I wanted from those games, to be fair.
Yeah, I read an article the other day how Crusade is the worst thing that's happened for 9th edition because it's so broken. And honestly, I think it's very different to tournament play, and I think if you're playing it that way, I think you're missing some of the magic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can. You can make a really powerful army with Crusade. Some of the relics, some of the upgrades. All your squad re-rolling hits +1 to hit. Of course, you can break it if you want to, but it's not the spirit of Crusade. The spirit of Crusade is units are getting scars, units are leveling up. it's a different way of playing. I really enjoy playing Crusade. It reminds me of playing Warhammer as a kid.
Yeah, we always said that our favourite thing on the new edition and AOS as well was Crusade and Path to Glory, and I still stand by that. We're getting old and decrepit now, aren't we? There's only so much mental gymnastics we can do to work out what stratagems and grand strategies and all that. Where with the Crusade and Path to Glory missions, there tends to be a more simple objective, and that's not like degrading it, is it? But it's more kind of, your guys are doing this, but then the thing that you're really picking and looking into is the kind of like, I guess, the objective of your army. So whether they're looking for a relic in AOS, or your overarching Crusade mechanics in Crusade, that is the bit that really appealed for me.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And some books were better than others. I think as they've gone on, they've added more and more bits. AOS, I'd like to see more of that added, because I think the AOS books are a little bit light on the kind of like narrative stuff you can do with the army, and maybe that's why you've kind of not been completely grabbed by it, Jay.
Yeah, possibly. There's a number of reasons why I sort of find myself not very motivated to do anything Age of Sigmar wise. I think I want to try Warcry, because I do like the setting and I do like the model range.
Yeah.
I've played a few games of Age of Sigmar this year. I think I've been to 1 or 2 Age of Sigmar tournaments this year. And I find myself drawn more to the other systems, Horus Heresy or 40k at the moment. But yeah, Path to Glory would be the way I play it, probably.
You know, my big win has been this year, Necromunda.
Oh yeah.
So what we were saying is, me and Andy were playing some Warcry the other day, and we think that one of the things that'd be fun to stream on the site would be Necromunda, Warcry, Kill Team, all those smaller games where you're not necessarily pushing around hundreds of models. You've got 10 to 20, but you can really focus on the narrative of those guys and do they live, do they die, what happens to them between the games. I think that'd be really fun.
That would be fun. I really want to pick up those skinks for Warcry, actually.
Yeah, they're really nice. In fact, here's one I prepared earlier. So this is one of the, I forget what they're called, Terror Wings. Yeah. And they are really, really nice models. I've got one of the Chameleon Skinks as well. He was fun. He's fittingly blending into the background there, but believe me, there's a Chameleon Skink in front of you. Yeah, they're really nice models. So yeah, can you believe it though? We're coming up to 9 o'clock, so I think we're going to call the stream at 9 today. Everyone who's watching, thank you very much for coming along. It has been very much a test stream to make sure all the tech was working, and it looks like we've ironed out all the kinks now as well, which is cool. So the moral of the story is, Matt doesn't press any buttons and things don't break.
If it's not broken, don't change anything.
Exactly. So and let us know. Can you? Originally, I wanted to switch between the main camera, but can you guys see okay on the main screen now? With the quartered. I think there's enough. There's enough space on the screen to see all that. If you've got any feedback for us as well, or there's anything you'd like to see, let us know. We will be doing some live games and stuff as well in the future, because that's something that would be really, really fun to do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Are we next back on Sunday for a stream then?
Sunday. We're out for a meal, Jay.
Of course, we are out for a meal on Sunday, so we will not be streaming on Sunday.
Obviously, with the next few weeks, with it being Christmas, will be a bit funny. It'll be back kind of more regular in the new year. We'll probably squeeze in another stream this week or next week. I could probably do a solo stream Thursday, or if you're kicking around, Jay, you want to join?
I might be free on Thursday. Okay. I finish work on Thursday, actually, so I could celebrate by streaming.
Well, that sounds good. Well, we'll perhaps see you guys back here on Thursday for some more painting action. Jackator also points out that the World Cup final is next Sunday, so maybe not the best day for a stream. And then the following Sunday is Christmas Day, which again, not the best day for a stream, but
I'll be in trouble if I stream on Christmas Day.
I think we'll look to do regular Sundays, and we'll look to do maybe a day in the week. We'll have a bit of a rotating cast that changes. So, yeah, it's been fun. So, if you've enjoyed this, let us know on Twitter or Facebook. Give us your feedback. Let us know what you'd like to see. If there's anything in particular you'd like to see painted as well, we've all got loads of stuff that we need to paint as well. So we'll be working on that. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you all really